Hey, welcome to Sunshine Haze. I am Aja A. Welcome to those of you that are just now coming across my channel. Welcome back to those of you that have been rocking. Thank you. As you see tarot cards on your screen, it is time for a reading. This is the typical lunar cycle spread. So we're talking about the Scorpio lunar cycle, true Mercury retrograde fashion. I'm a little late getting these videos up. I also my laptop cord died, so I'm waiting for my charger in the mail. So sorry, but here's your forecast. This forecast is for Taurus, little earth babies. I'm Taurus sun, Taurus moon, Taurus rising. So before I even get started, if you feel like what I'm saying in this reading is not resonating with you, that means the reading is not for you. So go on and check out your moon and or rising sign. And I do have a video link, I have a link down in the description box to a playlist with those videos in it. And with that being said, also check out the Scorpio lunar cycle, new moon in Scorpio video talking about the energy. And we are talking about November to December, which is also what this spread is covering, okay? Going to be our typical 5-card spread looking at the energy, crossing energies. And because we are talking about Scorpio, going to be looking at where you're going to be gaining clarity or where some truths are going to be coming to light. And then also where you need to devote a little bit more of your passionate energy. And then as always, a little soul message, spirit message, something extra for you to take away from this spread. Okay, Taurus. What other videos do I want y'all to watch? Excuse me, I said Mercury retrograde. Check out the Mercury retrograde video. We are still in the shadow of the Venus retrograde, although it is ended. Venus retrograde affects us quite a bit, so go on and check out that video as well. And we just had Jupiter transit into Sagittarius, and I have a video up on that too. What else? I also have Autumn Equinox tarot spread, so looking at the fall season for each sign. That's not gonna work. Let me shuffle that. I'm sorry. Looking at the fall season for each sign, everything that I just mentioned, I do have a link down in the I'm tongue twisted, down in the description box below. So click those links. Gosh, Taurus, what's popping? What's going on? We're gonna try that again. It's not typically the earth signs that give me crazy energy when I'm shuffling. What y'all got going on during this Scorpio lunar cycle? I'm curious. Okay, much better, much better. It could also be because I have a band-aid on my thumb. Ooh, all right. Okay, okay, Taurus. All right, shuffle this deck. Let's cut the deck. All right. To start, Taurus, you've got the Heaven and Earth card coming up in the position of the energy coming in for you. And this is a card that talks mostly about alignment, realigning your physical with your spiritual. So this tells me that, Taurus, you may have been feeling a little off balance. You may have been kind of going through the motions, just kind of going through your day-to-day, you know, going to work, paying the bills, feeding the dog, feeding the cats, you know what I'm saying? Just doing every day-to-day routine type things, not really living your best life. The Heaven and Earth card coming up in the position of the energy for you is telling me that a newfound kind of like rejuvenated energy may be coming in for y'all Tauruses during this lunar cycle, November to December. The Scorpio lunar energy does come with this very intense energy of change and transformation. So you may definitely be feeling like a reconnect with self. The heaven aspect of this card is the higher self, the spiritual, the etheric self, right? Talks about, you know, your higher needs, your higher wants, your soul purpose, your soul's mission. The earth part of this card talks about doing things in the physical that can align you with whatever those things are that are meant for you in the spiritual. The earth portion, how do I want to word this card? The best way that I can put this is, you know, things that we do, situations that occur in the physical affect the spiritual. Work that's done in the spiritual affects the physical. This card talks about bringing all of that back together, having the two halves come back in to complete a whole, as opposed to just having the two halves. This card coming up is saying that, Taurus, maybe you have been doing your spiritual work. Maybe you have been, you know, working on your mental, finding your zen. But at the same time, like I said earlier, you may still just be going through the motions in the physical. It is now time for you to marry those two together, and you'll see that marrying the two together will bring in this major shift for you. So heaven and earth card is very positive energy to be popping up, energy for you to be tapping into. So with that being said, Taurus, I would like to say, as you feel changes, as you see shifts coming in, because you are a Taurus, you guys do resonate with a little bit of a stubborn energy. As you feel these changes coming in, try not to fight them. Try not to go against the grain just because you're comfortable with whatever was happening before. Open your heart, open your mind, open your spirit to allowing these changes and these shifts to come in, because they are happening, so that you can bring yourself back into true alignment. Although you may feel aligned, it's almost kind of like there's a little of a glass window in between your spiritual and your physical, and it's like you see what's going on the one end, and the one end sees what's going on here, but it's almost like you still can't reach each other. Like, you're aware, but they still can't reach each other. Coming up for you during this next lunar cycle, or during this lunar cycle, the Scorpio lunar cycle, Taurus, the glass door or the glass window is going to be removed, and you'll be able to bring those things all back together, and they'll be able to integrate and work together in order to create and build the foundations that you would like, okay? Very quick, very quick, positive message with that card. All right, coming up in the next position, you've got the Father of Pentacles, which could very much be your energy in the position of what's crossing you during this time, or what's creating a bit of a challenge for you. And I think this really this is a Pentacles card. This talks about, you know, foundations, really work, relationships, money. I do think that this is not coming through with the energy of it being a court card, being connected to a person. It could very much be your energy, Taurus, but I think this comes so more with the connection to the Pentacles energy here, and I more so pick up on like work and finances. You are supposed to be coming back into this position of being completely aligned with the physical and the spiritual. And naturally, because of just the way things are, money and finances and things of that sort are not necessarily that important when it comes to spiritual health and spiritual aspects, right? But you've got the Father of Pentacles, because although those things may not really be important on a higher level, we do live life. We do live in the physical. We do live in a world where we do have to take care of things. We do have to pay bills. We do have to keep a roof over our heads. Father of Pentacles energy coming up, crossing this alignment energy that you're supposed to be tapping into, Taurus, is really bringing me this message of, you know, having to focus on making your money, having to focus on paying your rent, having to focus on making sure that, you know, you're good to go, making sure that, you know, your job is secure, making sure that everything is where it's supposed to be, everything is how it's supposed to be. And this is your crossing energy. Devoting your energy into making sure that everything in your physical is okay takes you away from the spiritual. It takes you away from aligning yourself and bringing the spiritual aspect back into your life. This is a card in most of my lunar cycle spreads that I talk about throughout the spread, being an energy that you can turn upright into something that can become a supporting energy, and I do very much so think that this is the case here. The Father of Pentacles is not a negative energy. It is a bit of a tough energy, but it is a very positive, a very stable, very grounded energy, a very entrepreneurial energy, so to speak. So I think that working through this spread, working through the energies coming up for you during this lunar cycle, Taurus, you will be able to make this a supporting energy in an upright position behind the Heaven and Earth card, okay? Coming up, no, I do want to talk a little bit more about this card. So I do think your crossing energy will have a lot to do with really just having to devote your time and most of your time to working, or most of your time to securing your foundations. Very important for you, Taurus, during this time. When you do have the time, when you have downtime, when you're not working, when you're not securing the bag, or when you're not doing the things you do to you know, ensure that your foundations are stable, very important for you to tap into your spiritual, to tap into like meditation, to either read some cards, pull some oracle cards, to, you know, do some energetic healing, to, you know, just talk about spiritual things, just have conversations, something of the sort. Very important for you to keep the spiritual aspect strong and at least active during this next month, because this Father of Pentacles is a crossing energy, and Pentacles energy is always tough energy. Earth energy is always tough. So it will be kind of hard for you to move away from working. You're going to have to work. So instead of, because I don't think you're going to be able to combat that, instead of, you know, figuring out how to get out of work, figure out how to incorporate a little bit more of your spiritual self into your routine, okay? Now moving on to the next card. We've got the Three of Swords coming up in the position of where you're going to be gaining a little bit more clarity, what's going to be coming to light, what truths are going to be coming out. The Three of Swords is one of my aw shit cards. It's not one of my favorite cards. It's a card of betrayal. It's a card of, you know, things happening or occurring, or hearing things or seeing things that make you just think, that keep you in your head, that entangle you in your heart. So thinking about whatever has happened makes you feel hurt, makes you feel betrayed, makes you feel defeated, makes you feel just complete sorrow, just like shitty. Coming to light during the Scorpio lunar cycle for you guys, Taurus, I do believe that anything that has kind of brought you down over this past year, or, you know, couple of years, or anywhere that you feel bad, or anything of that sort that you've kind of been carrying around, any baggage that you kind of put in the bag and zipped up and decided to just carry around and not necessarily go through the contents, I think that may be coming to light for you during this time, Taurus. And it is during a retrograde period, reflect and correct, so a lot of introspection during this time. You may be just thinking about old instances, old relationships, old partnerships, old, you know, careers, old decisions, or old choices that you may have made that put you into a position that you may not necessarily like, or maybe you feel like you might have done something wrong, or feel like you may have made the wrong choice. These things will possibly be coming to light for you during this time, and it's a time for you to reflect. This card coming up, though, the Three of Swords, is telling me that, Taurus, especially because you guys are the earth sign that resonates with the water energy, is like how I like to describe you guys. You're ruled by Venus. You may feel yourself putting a lot more of your emotions into these reflections. Try not to be consumed by the things that you figure out about yourself, or by the things that you learn about previous or past relationships or situations. Just try to see them for what they are. This is a water lunar cycle, so it does have a very cleansing element. Better to try and work through this being all tangled, and, you know, the sadness and the sorrow that comes with it. Try to work through it and release it, instead of dwelling in it and allowing it to consume you. Okay, Taurus? I need a sip of my drink, because I felt like my throat was sandpaper. Gosh. All right, the next card that you guys have coming up is where do you need to devote a little bit more of your passionate energy, and you've got the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is a very positive card. It's a card that talks about a time of happiness in your past, a time of very positive energy, whether it be related to relationships, or related to things that you really enjoy doing, or just emotional attachments. A card of kind of returning to your roots, so to speak. Emotional, spiritual, energetic roots. Coming up in this position, Taurus, I believe it's very important for you, especially with this Three of Swords energy coming up and this Father of Pentacles energy coming up. These are not easy energies to deal with, right? And these are attached to your mental, in regards to your physical, in regards to things that you have done or things that have happened to you, right? The Six of Cups coming up and where you need to devote more of your passionate energy is telling me, Taurus, that working through these energies, especially talking about alignment, you really need to be thinking about when in your past were you the most happy? When did you feel the most free? When did you feel the most in alignment with yourself, right, Taurus? And figure out what was going on around you. What habits did you have? What routines did you have? What were you doing? What types of people did you have around you that created that type of energy? This is a time of transformation. This is where you need to devote your energy. So maybe you need to reach out to those people. Maybe you don't. But maybe you need to go back into those routines. Maybe you need to go back into doing the things that you used to be doing. Maybe you need to kind of try to recreate the environment or the energy that you had surrounding you during the times that you were the most happy, that you did feel the most complete and content. That is the most important for you, because it is time for you to realign yourself with the self. So you need to find out when the self was happy, when the self was popping, and figure out what you had going on so that you can get yourself back to that point. Okay, Taurus? Again, another very quick and very, very blunt, very, very clear message there. Really, we manifest the things that we think about. I say that the power of our thoughts and the power of our words is very, very strong. So if you're thinking positive things, if you're thinking about creating a positive environment around you, if you think about it enough with enough good intention and enough will, you will actually be able to do that. So think about what it is that you want. Think about the happiness that you want to create. Think about the alignment that you want to have with your soul. And think about it constantly. And as you think about it constantly, you'll start to see things start to shift for you in the physical. You'll start to feel yourself come back into this alignment, okay? Sorry, y'all, my throat is mad dry. And my hot chocolate is now cold. I really, really, really want to go put it in the microwave, but I'm going to wait. So, you guys have another alignment card coming up in the last position of your spread, which is a soul message, and this is the masculine and feminine card. And I don't think that this so much has to do with masculine and feminine energy than it does with another message that comes with this card, and that is to tap into energies and to tap into things that best suit you. So these three cards all go together. You're supposed to be coming into alignment, realigning your physical self with your spiritual self, your spiritual self with your physical self, and your physical self with your spiritual self. They're one and the same. You need to bring them back into that sense of being. In order to do that, you need to start thinking about where you were and what points in your life and what types of energy you had around you that made you feel this heaven and earth energy, that made you feel this alignment. The masculine and feminine card coming up here is bringing the energy of, once you figure out those energies, it is okay to pick and choose and really create kind of like a customized set of energies that can serve you in the best way, to where you can actually tap into this heaven and earth card, this energy of alignment. This is a card that also talks about taking the time to evaluate what you've got going on around you and what needs to be shifted. This is a fire card, and then we're underneath a water moon, a water lunar cycle. So you've got the energy of cleanse and release, and fire is also a cleansing agent. Fire can burn up old and dense energies. So it is time for you to really think about what needs to be burned up, and then also think about, as you burn those things up, how you can cleanse them, how you can release them, and really be thinking about what really suits you, what really serves your highest good. What energies really can help you tap into this alignment that is supposed to be coming in for you, Taurus, because it's coming. And you're gonna have to do the work. A lot of people think that, you can just manifest and place intentions and write things down and pray and shit, but although that is a big part, a big aspect of making and willing things happen that you want to happen, change does not come without work. So you do still have to put work into these things. You still do have to take action on the courses that you are on, the courses towards the paths that you were trying to go down, if that makes sense, Taurus. So figure out what energies serve you and tap into those, cater them to you. Figure out when you were happy, figure out what time in your life was popping in, figure out what was going on around you during that time, and try to reincorporate that back into your life. As you reincorporate that back into your life, also as you're figuring these things out, you'll be able to release this Three of Swords energy. Acknowledge and release, reflect and correct, you know what I'm saying? And as you come into those energies, you'll be able to turn this Father of Pentacles energy upright and create the stability and the foundation that you need. I feel like I probably locked you out. I did.
Shit. I knew I'm over here fucking with the door. And I'm like, no.
I thought you heard me.
Oh,
you
no,
always come in like the Taurus videos. I literally just finished the Taurus video.
Oh, hey. That's me.
That is a...
Hi, you look cute.
Thank you. That is a Taurus. Okay, you guys. So...
Oh, sorry.
No, you're you're good. You're good. All right, I hope those cards provided you guys with some insight. If you feel like you would like more clarity, or if you feel like you need a personal reading, please feel free to book one with me through my Etsy shop. You can also send me an email. But I have a lot of readings on my Etsy shop, so you can book one with me through there. What else? If you like this video, go on and give me a little thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, go on and drop them down below. I do check my channel pretty frequently, so I will respond to you. Disclaimer, it is Mercury retrograde, so if I don't respond to you in a timely fashion, I am blaming it on that. What else? Like, comment, subscribe. If you're still listening to me talk, go on and hit the subscribe button. If you know any Tauruses or people with Taurus boyfriends or girlfriends trying to creep on their significant others' lives, go on and send them this video. Help them get it all together. And I kind of just said that. Share the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. Watch all those videos that I plugged at the beginning, like the Scorpio lunar cycle, new moon and Scorpio video, the Venus retrograde because we're still in the shadow, Mercury retrograde, Jupiter transiting into Sagittarius, and the Autumn Equinox tarot forecast. All those links are down in the description box. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time.